Hi, I am Derek. You may know me, of course, from Derek and Romaine. And Romaine is not here yet. We're waiting for people to come in and join us. If you're seeing me right now, it's probably because you are watching us on YouTube at some later time. Remember, you can tune in to our regular DNR live broadcasts on YouTube or Google Plus, Sundays, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. You're probably tuning in because we said we have an announcement. Dun, da, da, da. Obviously, I can't make any announcements until Romaine is here, and we have a few more people. But if you're watching this video and you're short on time, my guess is the announcement is probably going to be in the 5 to 10 minute long range into the video. So we have a couple of minutes, and if you're not watching live and you don't care about my gay shenanigans, skip right ahead. Who cares? Whatever you want. But I will say this, if you're not watching live, you can click right here on YouTube. You'll see a little bar that says you can join in the conversation that allows you to vote up and down to the things that you are seeing. So we can get some feedback from you, even if you're not watching live. And if you are watching live on YouTube, you can click the same banner right there, and then it will pop the Google Plus screen, and you'll be able to participate in the Google Plus Q&A. You'll see something at the top of the screen right here that looks like a keypad. You click on that. You can ask your own questions in the Q&A, or you can vote up the questions that other people have asked. So here we go. Romaine is here. Hello, lady.
Hey, Eric.
Hi.
How
It's nice to see you. Where
It's
are
good
you?
to see you too. I'm sorry if I'm a hot because I was outside. It's very hot outside. So if I'm a little blotchy and sweaty, I apologize. I'm not even at my own house.
Yeah, I was going to say, because your internet feed is terrible.
What do you mean it's terrible? It says it's completely strong.
Okay, well, you
It
figured
says I have all full bars in service.
Are you on a phone?
No, I'm not on a phone. I'm on a Wi-Fi setup.
Okay.
I'm just at somebody else's house, that's all.
Well, we'll all keep our fingers crossed that Romaine will stay with us. And if not, at least we have plenty of questions that we can go to, like this one from comedian Adam Sank. This had better be important. I interrupted my Brazilian waxing session for this. Good news, Adam Sank has taken up a new career doing Brazilian waxes. So if you need a little work, he can do that for you. Romaine, how about you?
What kind of work is that exactly, Derek?
Some downtown work.
Oh, gotcha.
Do you need any waxing and weeding down there?
Well, funny you should say that.
Oh,
I need to shave my legs. Because I looked down today, I'm wearing a pair of like swim trunks, and I looked down, I was like, oh God, what's happening with my legs? Oh Jesus, I forgot to shave them. Oh God. Yeah, it was not good.
That's horrifying.
It kind of was. And I had to apologize to my friends for having to look at my hairy legs. I'm a bad lesbian. What can I say?
Look, I know people are excited to tune in for our announcement, but very quickly, before we get to the questions and the announcement, I have to tell you, I went on another non-date with non-date guy.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. So after our show got canceled last month, I got a very nice email from the guy that I went on a non-date with. And many of you may remember I told a story on the air about how there was this guy and we were a very high OkCupid match. And then we got into a mutual fight on Facebook where the two of us ganged up on someone else. You know, I'm filled with righteous indignation about nonsense on Facebook. So anyway.
No, not you. No, I find that so hard to believe.
So anyway, so since we were this really high OkCupid match and everything, it's like, well, we should, let's go out. So he asked me out, and so we were gonna just have dinner, and then we went to dinner and a movie. And Katie was like, "That's a date. Like dinner and a movie is a date." But I was still not convinced. I felt like it was like a pre-date, like we're going out to see if we have any compatibility to actually go out.
A pre-date, really? First of all, what the fuck is a pre-date? I don't even know what a fucking pre-date is. And B, Derek, That's totally a fucking date.
Well, anyway, this happened many months ago, and the dinner was fine, but then the movie, we had a terrible movie experience. This was last summer. Terrible movie experience.
I remember this guy.
And I can't ever go to the movies with him again. But we are still friends on Facebook. And then after the show got canceled, he wrote me a nice thing of like, hey, we should go and hang out again. And, now that your schedule is wide open, it's like, all right, that sounds fine. So then we didn't get together right away. And then I don't remember why, but we got into some other thing where we ganged up on somebody else on Facebook. And then he's like, hey, we never got together. I was like, you're right. He's like, how about this weekend? I said, I can't, Mike is in town. But Friday's fine for me. So Mike went out with another friend of ours, Adam, who is going on the fall cruise with us out of New York. Romaine and I met Adam at either Vegas Pride or Phoenix Pride. He's originally from Phoenix, and then he lived in Vegas for a while. Now he lives in New Jersey. We met him years and years and years ago. Adam's very nice. He'll be on the cruise. And so Mike was having dinner with him on Friday. So it's like, all right, well, if my non-date craps out, I'll come and join you. And if not, we'll be in town at the same time. Maybe we'll take the train back. So we went to dinner. We had a reasonably good time at dinner. And then the bill comes, and you know me, boom, quick pay every time. Right? Always whip out my card to pay. And he's
but
like,
you're
no,
unemployed, Derek. Hello.
Well, anyway, so he's like, oh no, but you don't have a job. And I was like, you know what? Dinner at this Thai restaurant's not going to break me. It's fine. And he goes, well, let's go and get some ice cream. So I'm like, okay, all right, that sounds fine. So I pay the check, and then we leave to go and get ice cream. We go to this place up the street. Now, what do you think happened at the ice cream place, Romaine?
I think you paid again because you're a dumbass.
I am not a dumbass, but we got there. He ordered his thing. I ordered my thing. His order was done first. He went up to the cash register, paid his thing. Then my thing shows up to get paid for, and he just stands there.
Oh.
Doesn't pay. Doesn't offer to pay.
After you bought him dinner.
Yeah.
After you bought him dinner.
Let's go have ice cream.
Okay, you're not allowed to date him. Sorry.
It wasn't a date. I'm telling you, it was not a date. And I was like, oh my God, I can't. This is literally the worst behavior I've ever seen.
It's pretty bad.
Right?
And if I'm saying it's bad, it's definitely bad.
Because that's not normal. Even if you're out with friends and a friend, like if Romaine and I went out and I paid for our lunch or whatever, and Romaine's like, let's get an ice cream. Romaine would then pay for the ice cream. That's totally normal, right?
Yes, it is. Okay. It's totally common sense.
Egads. Anyway, so just so you know what I've been up to, that's a bit of what I've been up to.
Oh, can I ask you something I want to know if you've been up to? Oh my God, please tell me you went and saw Trainwreck. Oh my God, greatest movie I've seen in weeks. I laughed so hard. I was wiping tears away from my face, Derek. Please tell me you went and saw it.
Not yet, but I'm going to go on, I can't remember, either Monday or Tuesday night I'm going to go. I was going to go last week, and then I got busy.
I'm having all these reactions, and no one can see them, but what the fuck, Derek? It is so fucking funny. And I mean, don't go in.
I have just been busy with other things, but I'm going to go this week.
No. Stop everything you're doing. Stop the presses. Go see this movie. I'm telling you right now, I laughed so fucking hard. It's kind of touching at the same time.
Sorry, everybody. No live announcement today. I got to go immediately to go and see Trainwreck. Let me pull up Fandango on my phone right now and see if there's a showtime happening. Oh, what? There's a showtime starting right now. I got to go.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for coming, everybody. Bye.
Get a big giant popcorn, a big giant soda. Have a great time.
How about a big giant crazy from you?
I'm telling you. It's so funny. Oh my God, I loved it so much. You'll love it. Just trust me.
I'm going to go and see it. All right, let's take a few comments, and then Romaine and I are going to go into our announcement, and then we will take questions about the announcement. Romaine, are you excited?
What will it be? I don't know. Yes, of course I'm excited.
Okay, good. Steven says, dinner and a movie is a safe date. Sitting in a dark room, not talking to each other, playing it safe. Well, yes, it can be. But I really feel like it was let's suss this out and see how it is. CJ says, I'm guessing Derek's marrying a rich man. Romaine is the best man. Oh, that must be the guess of what our announcement is.
Okay, first of all, I am smart enough to know that I would not be the best man. That would be Mike, his roommate. But I would totally officiate.
Oh, that's a good idea.
To the rescue. What?
I mean, I've already been married before, so I don't know. I mean, I could have a wedding ceremony again if I married somebody who really, really wanted it, but I would feel guilty and terrible asking my friends and family for wedding gifts again after I already got them before.
Wouldn't. You are so fucking full of shit. I wouldn't have a problem with that.
No, because that's you.
I know, I'm such a dick. Oh, well.
All right, people are guessing what our announcement is.
Ooh,
Mark brings up a good point. He says, wait, aren't you always saying don't buy a man food? Seriously. Yes, this is exactly why.
Oh my God, he is right.
Yeah.
You totally fell into the trap.
Yes. So now you have seen exactly my point. Never buy a man food. It does not work out well. Don't buy a man food. Now, I always pay because if I'm on a date, I always pay because I don't want the other person, I don't want to be beholden to the other person in any kind of way. If we don't end up sleeping together, if the rest of the date goes south, my hands are clean. It's not like, oh my God, I can't believe I paid $50 for this meal and I got nothing out of it. Like, nope, not my problem. But anyway, but yes, in general, buying a man food is a mistake, for sure.
That's why I never buy a man food. Not ever.
Richard says, wrong, exclamation point, like pancakes.
He's right. I hate to say it, Derek, but you fell into the trap of buying a man food. You should know better.
I did. I really did. It's
Shame
true.
on you.
All right. Joseph says the non-date is a loser.
The non-date is, in fact, a loser. I agree. I tend to agree.
Tony says, Romaine, love your jack cap.
Oh, thank you. My friend Steven got that for me. I love it. I wear it all the time, actually. I have many hats that I wear.
So many hats.
Although today I can only wear one hat because I'm not at my actual house, so I don't have my whole collection of crazy hats to put on for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Fran says, that's the announcement? No, Fran, that's not the announcement. Mark says, seriously, you can't tease up like this. Okay, Mark's drunk.
Join the club. I'm drunk too.
Yeah. Ryan B says Romaine is lit.
Not really. So far today, I've only had. This is only drink number 3. I had a beer, a pina colada, and now my second beer. So I'm not really lit yet. I'm on my way though.
Okay, good. All right, so let's get to our announcement because I know that that's what a lot of people are tuning in for and what they want.
Are you going to tell them or do you want me to?
Romaine, I would like you to start and then I will help fill in the details because I probably have a better grasp of the details than you do.
Yeah, you probably do. Okay, so the listeners know that Derek and I love spending time with you. We love hanging out with you. It's always been something that we have tried to do as often as we can, which is why not that long ago we started doing the Derek and Romaine cruises. And when the show at SiriusXM got canceled, the number one thing that we heard other than, oh my God, I'm so sad, is what about the cruises? Is there going to be an Alaska cruise? Because we talked about it so much. And Derek and I were like, I don't know. We don't know. But we do know. We did make a decision, and the decision is yes. Yes, we are doing an Alaska cruise so that we can hang out, and we could go on some more cruises together. We can drink together. We can have a great time on the seas together, and we are going to Alaska together in the next year. 2016, we have decided Alaska is happening. It's happening in the month of August, and Derek will tell you the exact dates.
Yes, because Joseph says, what are the dates for the Alaska 2016 cruise? I filled out a booking form a couple of weeks ago, but never got the email. Well, Joe, the email went out today to people who filled out the form. if you did get it. The details are on the Derek and Romaine show website, derekandromaine.com. On our show website, just click on the button for the cruise. And by the way, while you're on our show website, you should make sure that your information is correct and updated. Some of you have had like 2 or 3 Twitter accounts over the years, and they're just clogging up our database. So anyway, just make sure all of your information is correct. You can sync up your Facebook and your Twitter with your email and all that kind of stuff. Romaine and I obviously don't send lots of messages out and everything, so you feel confident that we'll only let you know if important things are happening related to our show, or if you sign up for the cruise. But Romaine is right. We are sailing on the NCL Pearl, the Norwegian Pearl. We are leaving on August 28th and coming back on September 4th. I almost said November. We'll be gone for 2 months, everybody. We are... but we are going in and out of Seattle. And Romaine and I did the Alaska cruise. How many years ago now was that? 6?
Yeah, it's 6 years because Iris and I got married on the last Alaska cruise we did, and we just celebrated our 6-year anniversary. So 6 years ago we did this cruise, and it was amazing. It was so beautiful. I mean, really, one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen was the day that we sailed by all the icebergs floating in the water. And honestly, I've wanted to go back to Alaska ever since, just to see those icebergs again, because they were so fucking cool. So I cannot wait. I cannot wait to get back to Alaska. And the best zip line I've ever done in my whole life was up in Alaska.
I'll never let go, Romaine.
Please don't let go, Derek.
Also, since Romaine mentioned the zip line, we did do a zip line. The zip line that we did was at an old gold mine from the Alaskan Gold Rush. And so you actually zip line over a glory hole.
I forgot about that.
I did not. Because they said that some people freak out when you go over it because it's a pretty deep hole in the ground and the zip line goes directly over it. Of course, I loved it. I didn't care. It was great.
You know what's funny? I never looked down. I always looked forward and like around the sides, but I never looked straight down. That would freak me out too much. But I will say, though, the best thing about that zipline adventure was how long the zip lines are. Because I've gone on other ones since thinking it would be as exciting, and it's not. That one has been by far the best of all the zip lines I've ever done.
Yeah. Bernardo says, why so late in August? Well, Romaine and I, here's how our process works in picking the Alaska cruise. So basically, Romaine and I looked at a lot of different options in terms of different cruise lines and different schedules and everything else, blah, blah, blah. And finally, basically, I sent, in the end, after we'd had long discussions, I sent Romaine sort of the specific details about these various sailings of like, here are our options. This is the time frame. Alaska, the sailings are really at peak time in summer. And we looked at different weeks. And in my head, the August 28th week was the one that I thought was going to be the best week for us, for the show, for Derek and Romaine, for our listeners, for all that kind of stuff. We don't have a show anymore, but, for us as a group, for the DNR group. And Romaine wrote me back and she said, I think it should be August 28th. Independently, she felt that it was the right date, the same date that I had thought, which generally in the 12 years that Romaine and I have been together and known each other and everything, usually when the two of us independently agree on something, it's usually the right way to go.
No, it's true. When we agree, it happens so rarely. You have to know you've hit a miracle, so you got to stick with it.
Yeah. So it's a little late in the summer for people who have kids because for some parents, that may be the first week their kids are back at school. But we picked it because a lot of people may be coming fairly far across the country to get to and from Seattle. That is Labor Day weekend, which some people may have other Labor Day plans, so then they can't go. But if you're flying, for instance, from Florida to Seattle, it'll be much easier to be able to get back to work again on Tuesday if you know you have the extra day on Monday to deal with the travel, which is a big part of why we picked it too, is that people could spend an extra day in Seattle if they wanted to. They could get home at a little more leisurely pace. If they flew home on Sunday, the airfare would be cheaper because you're flying in the middle of a holiday weekend. So it's really, that's how we put some of this together. And that sailing is cheaper than other sailings in the month too, because Alaska is a more expensive cruise inherently. And so we're always mindful of price, but also it's late August, so the weather should still be good.
Right.
And lovely. There'll still be lots to see, and it'll be nice. So that was some of the thinking that went into why we picked those dates and times.
No, and honestly, I think it's a good time. The last time we did Alaska, we went up in early July. It was still a little chilly, and I think by the end of August, it'll be much warmer. So I think it's a great time of year, personally, to go to Alaska.
Well, Zach agrees. He says, excellent. My birthday is in August. The cruise will be my birthday present to myself. That is lovely. Gary wants us to go a week earlier. I don't know why. I don't think Gary has kids. But Gary says that week might be too late for him. All right. Well, I hope not. So there you go. And Richard says, hot damn, I'm bringing 2 families, really families. Speaking of families, with the Alaska cruise, part of why, we said we'd make a decision by the end of the month, but part of why we made the decision a few days early is that NCL, the cruise line that we're sailing on, has a program going on right now called the NCL Choice Promotion. And if you book between now and the end of August, you can drink for free, with their ultimate beverage package, and all you have to pay additionally is the $68 in gratuities. That's what goes to the wait staff that you would be paying in gratuities if you were just buying drinks individually. But for $68, you can drink free for the week, which is a great deal. That's most cocktails and beer and wine by the glass. So it's a pretty sweet deal for people who have sailed before. Usually, unless they're heavy gamblers, alcohol is their #1 expense on board. So if you can get that cleared out for $68, it's a good deal.
$68 will save you so much money, trust you me.
Yeah. Here's the other thing, is that if you book on NCL before the end of July and you are bringing, say, kids, for instance, 3rd and 4th passengers in your cabin can sail for free, in addition to being able to get the drink package for the adults. So,
hot damn!
Yeah.
Woo,
So if you do want to bring your kids, definitely book by July 31st, because in the month of August, you have to choose between the drink package or the kids being free. So I would hate for you to have to choose between your child or free liquor, because we all know the liquor would win.
I don't know that I could choose between that, Derek. That would be a very hard choice. I better go book today.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure I would choose liquor over my child. Pretty sure. Because I need the liquor to put up with my child, see?
Liquor, I hardly know her.
Tell me about it.
Dan says he also didn't get the email. I would check your spam folder, Dan, just in case. But even still, all of the information is on our show website, derekandromaine.com. And just click on cruise, and you can see more information there and information about pricing. So the Alaska cruise starts at $769 per person. That's based on double occupancy. It doesn't include taxes and port charges, and you want to drink alcohol, whatever, or gratuities. So those things can start to add up a bit, but the starting price though for 2 people is about $1,500. But realistically speaking, with taxes and port charges, you get the drink package attached. 2 people can be in an inside cabin for about $1,000 a pop for the week.
Nice.
And there are pay restaurants on the boat, but there's a bunch of free restaurant options. So, other than paying for excursions or whatever, you buy something in the duty-free shop, or you gamble, that'll be fairly inclusive of the expenses of being on board. So that's a pretty, that's not bad. $2,000 for 2 people for a week, eating and drinking and having a place to stay. That ain't too shabby, which is part of why we chose this itinerary, this time frame, all those kinds of things. Rob says, can you pick me up in Vancouver, or do I have to go to Seattle? Rob, you have to go to Seattle. I'm sorry, Can Americans. We're sailing out of
It's
Seattle.
not that expensive to go to Seattle. Hello. Just fucking go. Here's what I had to say to Rob. Don't bitch. Don't bitch. Be happy that we're doing a cruise to Alaska. 2 weeks ago, that wasn't even a possibility, really. So, consider yourself lucky that there's even an opportunity.
All right. Well, Gail says, oh, hell, that's the big news? Boo.
What the fuck news did you think we were going to announce? That we have a new show? Not yet.
Not yet. Let me tell you something, Gail, and to all of you, because I know that, many of you are very anxious about us having a new show. And we are still actively working on finding a home for Derek and Romaine. So it's actively in progress. We are meeting with people. We are talking to people. We are doing all of the things that need to be done in order to bring the show to life in some new way, in some new place. But these things take time, and we don't have any concrete news to give you at this point. But I mean, Romaine can speak to how she feels about it. To me, I feel fairly confident that the interest that people have shown in our show is very positive, and I feel fairly confident that we will be able to announce something soon. Not tomorrow, not 2 weeks ago, but soon. Ro?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Derek. I think, give us a little bit of time, because no matter what, even if we get a new show, let's say someone that makes us an offer tomorrow, it's still going to take time to get the foundation of a show in place. I keep talking about things like imaging and, the intros and the outros and, all of those things. That stuff takes time to produce. It doesn't just happen with the genie blink. So, give us a little time. And but I like Derek. I feel very confident that the show will have a new home. The show will continue. I know in the early stages of all this, we were like, well, we're going to try. But I think that it will become a reality. And so just be patient with us. That's all we can ask of you, and that's what you can do for us. Just be patient.
All right.
I know we're doing everything we can.
Speaking of patience, I got a text message from comedian Adam Sank, and he said, "Are you ignoring my question, you cunt?" So I looked, and Adam's question was the most voted up question, which I will address right now. If you would like to ask a question, you're watching us live, and you would like to ask a question or vote up one of the other questions, click on the keypad up at the top here, and that will allow you to access the Q&A feature so you can get to the questions. If you're watching us live right now on YouTube, click on the... Oh, Romaine, you suddenly took over for a second. Click on the banner right here. Stop talking so that I don't disappear. Click on this banner right here, and then that will pop the Google Plus screen, and then you will see the keypad access at the top of the screen. All right. Adam Sank's question, and I sent him an invite to join us in this chat too. We'll see if he does.
Oh, great. What, so he could take his clothes off and show us his asshole? Great.
Oh, God, I hope not, because it's YouTube. You're not allowed to show anything like that. Adam says, will comedian Adam Sank be performing on the Alaska cruise? Well, here's the thing about the cruise, because, it's just the two of us who put it together. And it really depends on how many people come and book. And the more people who come and join us, the more we can expand what we offer on board the ship. So we get lots of people, then we can have people like Adam Sank on the ship, entertaining people with his comedy or whatever else he's entertaining people with. I don't.
Oh, we know what he's entertaining people with.
I know. He's really after guys named Ray. I saw that yesterday online.
Oh.
Yeah. Since we talked about the glory hole, Jose says, not as deep as Donnie's hole. He's the worst. Always with the shade for our radio Donnie. By the way, I hear from him every once in a while. He checks in. He's like, hey, here's a fabulous picture of me. I'm amazing. Whatever. You know I love it.
Oh, we know.
Yes. Jim has, speaking of shade, Jim has some shade for Adam Sank. Is that outrageous? Jim says, can you forgive me for questioning Adam Sank's shirtlessness? After all, if we wanted to see drooping old white boobs, we tuned to the Republican debates.
Oh, that's mean. That's
mean.
very... Oh.
Mean.
Whoa.
Cold.
Why are people so mean?
I don't know why they're so hateful.
But they are.
They are a little bit hateful. All right. It turns out that Joseph says, I stand corrected, I got the email. So I sent out an email before our live chat like an hour or so ago to the people who have either joined us on the Derek and Romaine cruise before or specifically signed up for information about a summer Alaska cruise that has all the details about the cruise. If you have sailed with us before, don't fill out the booking form again. Just email us and say you want to go. Also, email dnrshow@gmail.com. Don't send me a message on Facebook. Don't send me a personal email. I can never find where you sent these things. I don't know why you send them to these places. Don't send me a text message about it. Just if you direct it all to our work email, I mean our Derek and Romaine DNRshow@gmail.com email, then we can make sure that we get to your thing and it doesn't get lost in the shuffle, the truffle shuffle.
Yeah, what Derek said.
Yes.
He's very wise, you know. Send it to the right email address. It's not our DNRshow@gmail.
Right.
Just do.
Then Romaine will never see it.
Exactly. I don't even know if I know the password to check the email.
Oh my God. Romaine and I, speaking of passwords, before we get to Adam wants to know how to accept my request. He has to click on the link I sent him.
It's not rocket science, just saying. If I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah, exactly. Romaine figured it out. And she's considerably less tech savvy than you are.
It's true.
Okay, so speaking of Romaine not being tech savvy, well, you know, we have the show website, derekandromaine.com.
Why are you going to sell me out? Why? What did I do? I'm being so nice, and you just had to sell me up the river. Thanks, Derek. Go ahead. Proceed.
How many empty beer bottles just fell out of your pants just now?
One.
Because it sounded like a lot.
I got a little bit in there. I'm going to drink that, too.
Are you having a party of one?
I mean, right now I am. The party in my pants. No, I'm kidding. No, all my friends are outside in the pool, and I'm in here talking to you and drinking my sad and now empty beer.
Okay. Anyway, we have the show website, derekandromaine.com.
Yeah, we do. We sure do.
And after many years of not having an actual legitimate website, we finally, last year, got like a decent website.
And by we, he means he did. He did all the work. I didn't do any of it.
Right.
Because I'm not good at that shit, and I will be the first to own it.
But Romaine tries. She does try.
Okay. I mean, about this much.
It takes some work, but she tries. Anyway. So Romaine has not logged into our website in quite some time. And Romaine noticed that there was an error on the site.
Technically, Iris noticed.
Iris noticed it.
I just told you.
Yes. Let's say some out-of-date information about Derek and Romaine was on the site.
Right.
A couple of days ago. So I was like, oh, well, it's really easy for you to correct it.
No, that's not what you said. You said, you know, you could fix that, right?
That's exactly what I said.
All my friends are outside in the pool.
Oh.
You're talking to you.
It would appear that Adam Sank and his turban are joining us now live.
White drooping boobs, how dare you?
Anyway, we have the show website, derekandromaine.com. Yeah, everyone's really hateful. And why are we on some kind of lag? Are you watching us through this screen that you're talking to us with and also watching the video on another screen?
I fixed it. It happens every time I am watching you guys and then I join you. Yeah. It becomes like two simulcasts and I have to like close one of them.
Wonderful. Well, I'm glad you're joining us. I see you dressed up for the occasion.
Yes, I was getting a Brazilian wax when I received your invitation.
Were you?
No.
What's going on down there, Adam?
What?
What's going on down there, Adam?
I don't know, but I resent being told that my boobs are droopy in any way. My boobs have serious buoyancy to them. They're not even big enough to droop. My balls are a little droopy, but not my boobs.
And ladies seem to approve.
But I do think Jim's comment was really funny. And unlike some people, I can appreciate a funny, shady comment directed at me.
As can I.
I know you can.
Look, I like
I know
shade.
what you're referring to, Adam.
The last time, the one and only time I was on
No,
the hanging.
do not bring it up. Do not do it. Don't go there, Adam.
I won't say any names.
Cause trouble. I can tell. Oh,
I
no.
made a perfectly
Adam's
innocent
not causing
comment.
any trouble here.
Oh,
I made
it's
a
trouble,
perfectly
Derek. He is
comment
trying to
about
cause
someone
trouble.
else, and I received hate mail.
Okay, first of all, I know what this email is you are referring to. It was not hateful. I thought it was a, hey, don't be an ass.
It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. I won't leave it at that.
That seems fair. You can leave it at that because I don't think we need this kind of drama
Yes,
from you and your turban.
Far be it from either of you. Far be it from either of you to ever engage in drama.
Oh, God.
Well, first of all, I'm not going to take advice about what's dramatic from somebody in a turban.
Good point.
I love my turban.
I know. Look, me too. But I'm trying to be dignified.
All right, well, I just wanted to say hello and to address the saggy boobs comment. And that's it. It's lovely to see you both. And I hope that you do land somewhere permanently very soon.
Me too. Now, Adam, you're shirtless here again. Are you still shirtless on Periscope?
I'm often shirtless on Periscope, yes. Although it's not enough for the people that watch me on Periscope. They want to see penis, they want to see balls, they want to see asshole. And you were the one, Derek, who told me that that's not allowed on Periscope, but apparently there's all kinds of porn happening on Periscope these days.
What? I had no idea.
Yep.
Well, I'm dignified, so I'm not doing those things.
You are not dignified.
There's like actual porn stars who have their own Periscope channels now.
Oh, that must be a fairly new thing.
Yeah, not that I'm going to show anything.
Huh.
You know, I'll show
Thank
you. You're welcome, Romaine. I'll give like a little peek of like the top of the shaft. That's about as much as I'll show.
That's too much. Too much.
But you know, I've said it before. I don't have a lot to show. If I had some big, gigantic penis, I promise you it would be all over the internet. I would be only too happy to show it. But I don't understand why anyone wants to see a rather medium-sized Jewish circumcised penis. It's not that exciting.
They don't care. It's just like the thing in Some Like It Hot when they keep getting pinched in the elevator. And he's like, we're not even attractive. It's like, they don't care. It's not about that.
Well,
they
and
just
also,
want to see it.
Also, if you want to see a penis, there's a million places online you can go and see one instantly. You can see any kind of penis. You can see penises going into asses, going into vaginas, you get whatever you're into a tunnel. Is that what you said?
Yeah, going into New Jersey for the weekend. Going into Macy's to buy a frock.
Well, I just came from Macy's, speaking of which.
Of course you did.
They're having a major home sale. I looked for that stovetop percolator. They didn't have a single one.
Oh, that's so frustrating. You know, I fixed my coffee maker problem, Adam.
Oh, good. I was worried.
Yeah. Well, two things. One, I cleaned my coffee maker because so many of the feedback online about the problems people had with their coffee makers was that they had gotten dirty and clogged up. And then while I was cleaning it, I noticed that there was an intake hole in the back of the water container where you could put in a water hose. And I never noticed that before. And, of course, I was pouring water in and splashing it right out of the back.
I hate when my intake hole is dirty and clogged up.
You and everyone in Hell's Kitchen.
Hey, Adam, do you want to see my fat cock? Hold on.
Oh, gross. No.
Oh, that's a beautiful cock, Romaine.
Isn't that fat, though? It's a really fat cock.
It's girthy.
It's making me hungry.
Oh, God, you're so disgusting.
You feel like chicken tonight?
Oh,
All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. Bye-bye.
Okay.
bye.
Bye. So there you go, a surprise guest appearance by comedian Adam Sank joining us. Romaine showed her cock. So you never know what's going to happen here during our Derek and Romaine live shows. Remember, if you want to make a comment or vote up one of the comments, click on the keypad up here so you can ask your questions. Yes, Romaine?
In all fairness, I didn't show you my fat cock. I showed you the fat cock of my friend Noelia.
Okay.
It's her fat cock. Oh. And she said, oh, yes, it is. I'm a mess.
A little bit. All right, well, let's go back to some of these questions.
Okay.
Mike T says, looks like the tweet is in Portuguese today. Well, there you go. I don't know.
Do you speak Portuguese, Derek? What does it sound like? What do you think it sounds like?
I don't know.
Maybe you should read it for us in Portuguese so we can hear what it sounds like.
We should probably have somebody call in and do that. Or we'll email somebody in and they can join us.
And speak Portuguese to us?
Sure.
Oh, great.
Bernie says, was that a new phone, Derek? Nope, this is my iPhone 6. It is not a Plus, iPhone 6 Plus. It's just regular old iPhone 6. And I got it last year, and as you can see, it's still in near mint condition in that I have not dropped it and cracked the case or the face of it or anything like that. So there you go. Dan says, Romaine is the preacher, in all caps. I guess Romaine is coming to NBC this fall as the preacher.
Okay.
Romaine,
I can handle that.
Will you marry anyone on the Alaska cruise if they ask?
Well, you know, it's funny you should say this, Derek, because just this week I went online to my my church and I renewed my reverendship because it had come close to expiring. And so I added many years to my reverendship so I can continue to marry folks, including my niece this September.
Well, that is wonderful.
Yes, Revro, can I get a witness?
Okay, let's go to some more of these questions. Although I'm not seeing new questions coming in, but I still see that we have lots and lots of people watching. So either people don't have questions or I'm not getting them. So my apologies, but if you are asking questions, new ones are not coming in. So I'm going to try to delete some of the ones that are here and hopefully that will clear out the thing. Maybe we're getting too many questions. I don't know. But Mark asked a bunch of them, so we'll get those out of the way.
Okay.
Mark says, clearly not a long-time listener, only 5 years, but I'm curious about how you and Romaine met and what led you both to OutQ. Well, Romaine and I met because of the show. There was a guy that I met in the summer of '96 at the launch party for Planet Out in San Francisco, John McMullen. And we met there, and he had started doing internet radio, like streaming. Real Networks was doing streaming audio, and I'm not exactly sure when they started, but within that time frame, probably like 94, 93 maybe. But people were still on fairly slow modems, and but the idea with streaming audio and then eventually with streaming video on the web was that audio didn't take a lot of bandwidth, and you could actually listen to like streaming audio over a dial-up modem. So anyway, so Real Networks was a pioneer in that, and John McMullen was working with them early on. And when I met him at the Planet Out launch party, he wanted me to do a show with him because he had started doing internet radio shows. And at the time, I had a syndicated entertainment column called Deep Inside Hollywood. Oh, Lord, it was so long
Deep
ago.
Inside
Hollywood, like this. And I wrote it under a pen name, and it was syndicated actually internationally in a bunch of like gay papers in the US and a bunch of places over the seas. And so I thought, oh, I could do like an entertainment internet radio show, but the guy who was syndicating my column thought it would cannibalize the columns, and so he didn't want me to do it. So I had to turn John down. But I did some special broadcasts with him in the intervening years. We did a remote from Birmingham, Alabama. Remember in 1997 when Ellen came out on the Ellen Show, her old Ellen Show?
I remember that.
Yes. We all remember Ellen coming out. Well, people may not remember that the ABC affiliate in Birmingham refused to air the coming out episode.
I remember that too.
So some people rented out an auditorium in Birmingham so that people could watch the episode. They brought in like a truck and then they piped in the feed. And so we did a remote broadcast from the Ellen episode in Birmingham. That was the first thing I did with John. And then a few years later, I feel like it was the Out Music Awards, the Gay and Lesbian Music Awards, the Glamas. One of the, they might be the same thing, I don't remember. But we did a broadcast from one of those at the, I feel like it was at the Hammerstein Ballroom back in like 98, 99, something like that, before I moved to New York. Anyway, so I did a couple of special broadcasts with John over the years. And then in 2002, he wrote me an email or called me and he said, hey, listen, I've taken this job at Sirius Radio and I'm going to start a gay channel. Would you like a show? And I was in New York and it was in New York. And I was like, sure, why not? We'll see how this goes. I'll give it a try. And it took months to get off the air because he contacted me. It feels like summer of 2002, maybe late spring. It went on for a while. I did a pilot episode, and originally it was going to launch January 1st, and then it was going to launch in February, then it was launched in March. Finally, it launched on April 14th, 2003. But before it launched, we didn't have a producer. I'd done this pilot, and in the pilot episode, Tim Curran, who used to do the OutQ News, he board opted, and John was there sort of helping out. And then my roommate Mike was there, and he was like a caller who had a problem. And I did like an advice thing. I did an entertainment and advice show. Of course, there weren't any callers, and I, it had to sort of be generally topical. I'm sure it wasn't very good, but I did do a pilot. And then we needed a producer, and but John said, oh, we should get a lesbian. Because originally I was going to have Mike produce the show because Mike was around. Why not? And so then we needed a producer, and then he wanted a lesbian. And then we didn't know any lesbians. So we both thought, well, we'll ask Kathy Renna from GLAAD because she's got to know somebody, a lesbian with some kind of background in media, and she didn't have any ideas. And this went on for a couple of weeks. Then finally, it's like we still don't have somebody, and we're getting close to launch.
And by the way, there were really no lesbians on the channel. I mean, there were very, very few lesbians represented on the channel at all at that point.
There weren't any lesbians that were in the titles of shows because I don't remember when Doria started with Harrison.
I feel like it was pretty close to the very beginning.
But it was pretty close to the very beginning, but she was sort of working behind the scenes. I don't know how on air she was with Harrison's show. I never really listened to his show. But Harrison had a show and Doria worked on that. And then and then there was a straight woman who was on the morning show at that time that Wayne Besson was hosting. But I don't know that there were any other. I don't think there were any other lesbians. It was a long time ago, obviously. But anyway, so then we asked Kathy Renna again, and she asked
Glenda Testone.
Glenda Testone, who's now the executive director of the Gay and Lesbian Center in New York. Hey, do we have any lesbians that might be good for this? And she recommended Romaine.
That's me. Yeah, and I had just completed recording engineering school, so I had come to New York primarily looking to work in the recording industry, and I'd been kind of fucking around in my time in New York, having fun and not really taking my career seriously yet. That was my early 20s. And so they called me and offered me the producer position, but it also was a producer / talk show host / call screener position. I was like fucking doing everything. And my name would be in the title of the show. So originally, I was not just a host. I was a lot of other things as well. Which also meant that they could hire me at a lot less money.
Anyway, that was a long time ago. And Romaine and I,
Sure
I mean, we've told the story many, many times, but you know, I was told that Romaine was the producer of the show, and then a week or so before we launched, pretty close to launch, I got a call from John, because Romaine and I had already met at that point.
Right.
And he's like, listen, we don't have any lesbians on the channel. Is it okay if we elevate Romaine to co-host on your show and have it be Derek and Romaine? And I was like, sure. I met Romaine. I like Romaine. That would be fine. And I agree. I'm all for LGBT equality, and there should be more lesbians on the channel. So yes, by all means. But Romaine was told right from the outset she was going to be the co-host of the show. So Romaine and I had a very difficult first almost year on the air. I mean, we had very good chemistry on air, and we had a very good rapport with each other on air. But behind the scenes, there was quite a bit of tension, just because we both had been given different stories about, you know, how we came together. And then there were, you know, other ongoing issues where we were played against each other too. But anyway, but that's, to answer your question, the short answer to your question is that's how we met. We met in doing the show, and then we stayed together for 12 years. So that's a pretty good run. Nothing to be ashamed of.
It was a marriage made in heaven, Derek. Gross.
All right, here's another question from Mark. I'm still not seeing any new questions, so I feel like this is crapping out for some reason. All right, or maybe we're off the air and we don't even know it. Romaine, when you started your activism, which has been largely attributed to Matthew Shepard's death, what was it that compelled you to take action, and how did you approach your activism? Meaning, where and how did you start, and how did you decide on what?
Actually, I would say that my activism started long before Matthew, believe it or not. It actually started when I was in high school. And the reason it started is because my older brother, Michael, who I got to know very, very well in high school, was sick, and he had AIDS. And I didn't know much about gay people then, even though I was a gay person, because I was fairly young when I found out about him being sick. And so when I found out he was sick, one of the things I did was I wrote a speech. I was in the speech team because he encouraged me to do that. And when I was on the speech team, I'd written a speech about AIDS, and I was the state speech champion, actually. And in doing that, I learned that there was a really powerful message behind the speech that I was giving about HIV and AIDS. And at one point, oh, look, my friend has brought me a drink. How nice is that?
You're already so drunk.
I know. But what I realized was that the message that I was sharing, especially with young people, was a really powerful message. And my brother Michael always encouraged me to use my voice because he understood the value and the importance of your voice and kind of creating change in the world around you. So something that he kind of lived by as a philosophy, and something he really instilled in me. And so I was invited to go to a number of high schools in the state of Wyoming when I was a teenager, and deliver this speech I had written to like entire high schools. Like they'd have like an assembly, and I'd go out to entire high schools. And I remember I went on a tour circuit with Ryan White's mother, actually. And so that was kind of my first step into activism and realizing the power of activism. So when the things with Matthew happened, I'd already kind of had an experience with understanding how my voice could really help shape a story and help educate others. And so it was actually kind of an easy step for me to fall into activism following Matt's death. And then I was given the opportunity because of that to work with professional activists. I went to work for GLAAD in Washington, D.C. I ran their Washington, D.C. office for a short time. And in getting to experience all that, I really came to love activism, and I really came to enjoy it. Although, you know, with the Matthew stuff, it was also very sad and personal, so it kind of took an emotional toll as well. But I always tell Derek, and, you know, for a long time, I don't think Derek really believed me, but, you know, I always looked at the show as activism. We were actively changing people's lives, not just LGBT people's lives, but also the lives of the straight people who would stumble upon our show, find something we were talking about funny, but who at the same time were also learning about LGBT people and the issues we face in our everyday lives, whether it's discrimination at work or what it's like to be lesbians raising a daughter in the state of New Jersey, and, you know, kind of the road you have to navigate when, you know, meeting other people's parents and things like that. So the show has always been a form of activism to me, and I've just allowed myself to see the opportunities in front of me to create a change, and I have embraced those opportunities and tried to incorporate them into whatever I'm doing at any given time.
All right. Well, good news, Romaine. The queue suddenly has spontaneously popped up. All the questions that people have been asking. So thank you for your questions, everybody. We're very short on time, so Romaine and I will burn through these as quickly as possible in a hot lightning round to wrap things up.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. Deborah says, are you going to continue the Sunday Hangouts after today? Yes.
Yeah, we'll continue.
Yeah. This has been fun, and I think this is great. And so I think we will continue this because why not? Also, it is our best way to remain in regular contact with people. And it's a great opportunity for us to get together. And then
I get to see Derek's face, and I miss it. So I'm happy to see his big gay face.
Thank you. Although we might be having lunch this week, so.
Woo, can't wait.
Yes. There's just somebody lurking behind you, Romaine.
Oh, I know. That's my buddy Dylan.
Hi, Dylan.
Hi. He says hi.
Don't talk to Romaine. She's crazy drunk.
I'm not drunk yet.
She's just crazy.
Give it time.
Okay, we got to get to these questions. All right, Richard says, old school, what's my gay problem? I'm a gay uncle. My nephews are 8 and 6. Do you have any advice as to how to tell them why their uncle doesn't have a girlfriend? My sister and husband are diehard Republicans and Christians, but are very supportive. I mean, you know, Romaine has a daughter who's close to this age, so I'm sure this comes up a lot there. I mean, my thing is, you know, you always have age-appropriate questions. Usually, I think you take your tip from the kids. The kids will ask the question that they know to ask, and, you know, you answer it in a way that's appropriate to that. So if they say, how come you don't have a girlfriend? You can say, you know, some people have girlfriends and some people have boyfriends. If I were to have one, I would have a boyfriend, but I don't have one because
I mean, that's how we get those questions all the time, you know, dealing with Romy and her friends, because she's 8. And so, you know, sometimes I'll pick her up from school and I'm not the mom that her friends are used to seeing. And they'll be like, wait a minute, you have 2 moms? And I'm like, yeah, some people have 2 moms. Some people have 2 dads. Some people have a mom and dad. Some people have grandparents. I just try to put things in as generic of terms as you can and as simplest of terms, because kids will be like, okay, whatever. They're not going to sit there thinking about it for hours and hours on end and what it means.
Right. Romaine, spelled differently, says, Romaine, new documentary, Matt Shepard is a friend of mine, airs July 27th on Logo. Will we see you on it?
Yep, you will. I participated in that, and I think it's a great documentary. It's very touching, and I think everyone will enjoy it. So I encourage everyone to tune in. I think Michelle, another friend of Matthew's, did such a terrific job, her and her husband, Liam. And so I encourage everyone to take a viewing of it. It's a great documentary. And you get to see what Matthew was like, because there's actual footage of Matthew, which is really awesome.
It was actually, we watched the documentary on the last Derek and Romaine cruise. And, you know, obviously I've been around Romaine for 12 years. I've seen and heard quite a bit about, you know, Matthew Shepard and her experience in Wyoming. And I watched the Laramie Project. I watched the Laramie Project 10 years later, watched the movie, I've seen the play. I feel like for an outside person, I have gotten as much of the Matthew Shepard experience as anyone is going to get. But I have to say that the Matt Shepard is a Friend of Mine documentary was really moving and really powerful. And you really do, you know, you really get a sense of Matthew Shepard like who he was as a person. And here's how I will equate it. You know, here in our solar system, we have the sun, and then we have the planets that rotate around the sun, right? And in this way, I'll say that Matthew Shepard is a bit like the sun. And what we've spent the last, how long has it been now? 17 years, Romaine? 17 years?
Like that. Long ass time.
You know, we've spent the last 17 years looking at a lot of the planets. And the Matt Shepard documentary is an opportunity to look directly into the sun. And there's a reason that you don't look directly into the sun. It can be very painful. And the documentary in a lot of ways was like looking directly into the sun, because it really gets to, you know, it reminds you of everything that you felt and thought in 1998 all over again. But it was also a wonderful way to learn about somebody that is not a symbol, is not a, you know, whatever, is a real person who had a family and friends who cared about him and all those things. So I really enjoyed it very much. I highly recommend it. Airing on Logo. Definitely watch it for sure. Romaine, you agree with my sun and planet assessment?
I think so. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Nat says, have y'all hit up iHeartMedia about Pride Radio, the format they launched literally the day before you guys left? I have seen a bit about the fact of this. Pride Radio has been going on for a really long time. I feel like it's the same thing that launched on HD radio in like 04 or 05, pretty early on when we started in satellite radio. I don't know a lot about what they're doing. I think that they have an online station, and then there's one local station in Minnesota or Wisconsin that they're running shows on. I mean, for us, you know, whatever we end up doing, because our audience was across North America, we need to do whatever we're doing so that it reaches the widest possible audience. It's not to say that if we got asked to do a local show in Toledo that we wouldn't seriously consider it, but our audience is national, and by national,
Toledo, really? Toledo?
North America. I'm using that as an example because I dated a guy who broke up with me to take a job in Toledo, and I'm still mad about it. Not that we're not together, because I don't care, but I couldn't believe he left me, and it wasn't even a top 50 market. I mean, seriously. Anyway, we will accept all viable options. So we are looking around for sure. Trucker Giddy says, invite Katie, please. Romaine is in charge of bringing Katie in for our live
oh
chat.
God, I forgot this week. I'm sorry. I've been meaning to do it. I'm sorry. We will. I promise. Derek, don't let me forget.
Don't forget, Romaine. Craig
You're so fucking helpful. Thank you.
Excellent about the summer 2016 Alaska cruise, but I wanted it to be that you're back on the air. Well, Craig, we're actively working on it, and as soon as we have news on that front, we will let you know. Although probably we'll tease it again and do another video like this and then be like, ta-da, here's our news. Because we love a tease. It's worked out great. We had a lot of people show up today.
Yeah, we did.
Yes. Adam Sank says, was it originally called The Derek Harley Show? Yes, an extremely original title. But it's not like imaging for it was made or anything like that. Nothing. But yes, originally it was just going to generically be The Derek Harley Show. Bernie says, how many people are booked for the New York trip? We have about 130 people who are joining us on the Derek and Romaine cruise
How many?
fall. 130?
Ooh, that's a lot.
Yeah, about 130.
Dylan,
it is a lot.
For what?
The cruise in November.
Indeed.
A personality that's setting the world on fire. Why doesn't Dylan have a radio show?
He's got a special outfit he's going to wear on the cruise that I cannot wait for. Just going to say. Can't wait.
It's that head again, isn't it?
Oh, it's better than the head.
What's the head?
The horse head.
Oh, the horse head? Yes, way better.
It's way better than
that
that.
too?
What's that?
Is the horse head coming too?
You never know.
Sure.
He says sure.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not, indeed? Because I have somebody who's going on the cruise, and I would like to pull a Godfather thing where we leave the horse's head and some blood in their bed.
You want me to do horse head then?
That's messed up.
I'll tell you who it is. It's
Can't
Jason
wait.
in Fresno.
Oh, God.
So I told a story last week, right? Oh, no, wait. In my Monday Mail Hag video that I did on my YouTube channel. Romaine, you heard about this, right? That Tiffany and Kelly in Arizona sent me a thoughtful, we're sorry you don't have a job anymore gift. And then it arrived postage due.
No. Oh, my God. That's hysterical.
Yeah. So I owed $1.30. Anyway, so I told the story because it was hilarious. And I knew Tiffany and Kelly would be laugh/be mortified.
Of course.
So I told the thing. And so then when I posted the video that we had an announcement today, that we were announcing the dates of the Alaska cruise, Tiffany and Jason, who have become friends through the Derek and Romaine cruise, and their cabins are next to each other this fall, they had a side bet of $1.30 going of what the announcement was going to be. And Jason believed that it was going to be the dates of the Alaska cruise. And then Tiffany believed it was going to be that we had a new home for the Derek and Romaine show. So he writes to me and he tells me about this. And of course, I was like, well, get your checkbook handy. So he had printed out an envelope and written a check for $1.30 to Tiffany. And as soon as he got the email that I sent out to everybody who had been on the cruise in the past saying that it was the dates of the Alaska cruise, he made a video of the envelope and the check going into a shredder.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
I'll forward it to you. It's hilarious.
That's funny.
Yeah. Anyway, something tells me there's going to be a lot of $1.30 being thrown around this fall.
Funny.
On the cruise. Yes. So very funny. So anyway, we're going to have a great time. There's still room on the sailing this fall if you guys can't go to Alaska, but you still want to join us. This NCL Breakaway, the ship that we're going on this fall, is going to be gorgeous. And it's a beautiful ship. People are going to love it. Okay. George says, how many people listen to the Sunday Hangouts? Well, right now we have 167 viewers. And we usually get about 150 to 200 people who watch us live while it's going on. And then we get a few thousand other people who join us, later on and throughout the week. I assume that we get credit for the people who watch us live and that goes into the total, but I have no idea. But generally, we'll have a few hundred people. I mean, it's 167 now, but it may go up or down. So it's probably a total, maybe of people who go in and out over the hour of like 250, 300 people, something like that. But whatever, it's nice that you're joining us for these live video chats, especially since people have a hard time figuring out how it works. Foster says, any hope of continuing the stocking giveaway this year? Where?
I mean, yeah, where are we supposed to do that? Exactly. We don't have a show, so I'm not sure how we're supposed to do that. Sorry, I'm at a loss.
If we have some mechanism for doing it, then yes. But as of right now, we don't have a radio show. We don't have a way of doing a stocking giveaway. We don't have stockings. I mean, I suppose I could just wrap some shit. People want me to wrap some shit from the wrap room anyway.
Yeah, wrap some shit up, Derek. Literally, some shit.
How about
take a shit, wrap it up?
How about this coaster? I'll just wrap up a coaster. Oh my God, I've had these fucking forever. I think I got these at IKEA in 1995.
I will wrap up this lovely pin that I just stole from my friend's house that has their business name on it.
So glamorous.
Ooh, or how about these nice nerdy stickers I found?
That's about right. Well, on the Derek and Romaine cruise, we have we do an award show, and Romaine picks out the awards. And so I don't know, maybe we'll do awards for the people who have been the most annoying while our show has been off the air.
Maybe the trophies will be dildos.
Oh, all right. Keep it fresh. Peter says, I got here late. What is the announcement? Romaine, tell everybody what they've not won.
The announcement is the dates of the Derek and Romaine Alaskan cruise, which is happening August 28th through
September 4th.
Thank
Sunday.
you.
Sunday to Sunday on the Norwegian Pearl, sailing from Seattle, Washington, up through Glacier Bay. And it's going to be a beautiful Alaska sailing.
Yay! Can't wait! Woo! It's going to be fun.
All of the information is on our show website, DerekandRomaine.com. Click on the cruise button, and you'll see some information there. You can fill out the cruise form for more information. If you already have sailed with us in the past, or you've already filled out a cruise form in the past, you could just send us an email, and we can go from there, because we already have all of your information. Okay. Oh, God, this thing just moved.
How many questions are we going to do? Yeah, we are past our hour.
Yeah, do you want to wrap this up?
Yeah, I got a pool to jump into.
All right. Well, very quickly, Brian, because you're drunk, it's good that he reminded you. This might have been asked already, but Romaine, how do you like your Apple Watch?
Oh, I love my Apple Watch. It makes me very happy. I still need to spend some time figuring out how all the gadgets on it work, but it's really cool, and I really do love it. Love it. It's fun. It's a fun little gadget.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, Mike T says, Ro, I see you managed to obtain Iris's Apple Watch.
Hell yes, I did. Woo, woo. It's mine now.
All right. Ro, you can go if you want to. I'll wrap up a few more questions here about the cruise. If you want
okay.
to.
Then I'll just say, kisses to my bitches. Bye.
All right. Drunk Romaine, there she goes. Be sure to find her on Twitter and on her YouTube channel. She uploads her periscopes there. Lee says, what is the deposit for a single person in a cabin by themselves, and when would the last payment be due? The deposit amount is $250, and the final payment for the cruise, the total balance, is due 90 days before sailing. But you can make interim payments along the way if you want to, and then you won't have like a big balloon payment at the end. But you just have to make a $250 deposit per person in order to secure your spot on the Derek and Romaine cruise. What else have we got? Ed says, oh, and NCL has places to dump the kids. I assume he means on the ship, not directly overboard. Augie says, do we book directly through the cruise line, or do we let you guys know? Augie, you book through us. So if you want to go on the cruise, you just let us know that you want to go, and we will put together a booking for you. You have to book through Derek and Romaine in order to participate in our group activities and do all of the group stuff that we do. So it's very easy. You just email us or fill out the booking form if you haven't done that already, and then we will contact you and we will get you all booked up. It's really simple and it's really easy. Richard says, I love gay shenanigans. That's great, because there's nothing better than that. Joe says, the question for Adam would be, has he booked his room yet? If not, there's not much chance at this point. Well, if you're talking about for the November sailing, there's still time for anyone to join us on the NCL breakaway this fall. The ship is not full yet, and there are still some cabins available. The NCL Choice program promotion is going on right now. So for the price of gratuities for the week, $68, you can drink for free. It's a good deal. And people should check that out. So Adam could still join us this fall if he really, really wanted to. CJ says, I'm a teacher already back at work on August 28th. So far, I haven't been able to go on any cruises because of scheduling. I hope that someday our schedules will mesh. CJ, me too. This was one of our concerns and considerations, obviously, with this timing for the cruise, just because people with kids and people who are teachers, that would make it kind of hard. You know, we're trying to get the best thing for the most people. And hopefully one day soon, we will have a sailing that you can go on. George says, wow, that is a big ship. The Pearl, that is. The Pearl is actually not that big. The Pearl holds 2,300 people or something. The Breakaway holds 4,300 people. It's a huge ship. And so if you want a big ship, then the Breakaway is even bigger. Rick says, what's the deal if you don't drink? All right, with the NCL Choice program, when you book on NCL between now and the end of August, you have your choice of various free things you can get along with the cruise. You can get the ultimate beverage package, which allows you free cocktails while the cruise is going on. You can get the dining package, which allows you to dine for free in the premium restaurants on the boat. There are many free restaurants that are included in the price, but they have like steakhouses and that kind of thing. If you want the Japanese restaurant where they throw the food in the air, that kind of stuff is extra. But you can get the dining package if you don't drink, and then that is included free. Or you can get 250 minutes of internet access. You can get your gratuities included for free. There are lots of different options. And if you go to ncl.com, you look for their NCL Choice promotion, it has all of the details about that. Also, if you book before the end of July, if you have multiple people joining you on the cruise, the third and fourth person can sail for free. All right. Jose says, what deck will you be taking over for the Alaska cruise? The mini suites are not on most decks. Jose, it'll be very similar to the situation that we had in the LA cruise that we did. Because the Pearl structurally is a fairly similar ship, although they have different public areas. We have a lot more public area options on the Pearl. It's really nice. But we will probably have most of our listeners will be on decks 8, 9, 10, and 11. Deck 11 is where the mini suites are and some inside cabins. 9 and 10 are mostly balcony cabins and inside cabins. And then deck 8 is ocean view and obstructed view cabins, which are pretty much like the best deal is the obstructed view cabins are not bad. If you want a little bit of sunlight and a little bit of a view, but you want like a cheaper cabin, that's a good option. So that's it. 8, 9, 10, and 11 will be our primary decks. All right. I think that is it. I think this has been lovely. All right. Well, I'm sorry if we didn't get to all of your questions. There are a lot of questions here. Romaine's not here to keep filling in the blanks. So we got to go. Anyway, it is just a party of one at this point, says iChart NY, because Romaine had to go and keep drinking. But I want to thank you for joining us for our live chat today. You can get more information about the Derek and Romaine cruise both this fall and for Alaska through our show website, derekandromaine.com. If you haven't already updated your information on our show website, you should do that anyway, because you can tie in your email address plus your Twitter and your Facebook all together in one profile. You can also check to see what other friends you have that might be Derek and Romaine fans. You never know. You might discover that you have other people that you know in common who also love us too. And maybe there will be somebody who wants to join you on the Derek and Romaine cruise. There you go. We'll be back next Sunday for another live video, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll be back on Google Plus for that too. So there you go. For those of you who like the way I say Plus, Google Plus. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Waste your time, because Twitter wastes your time. Thanks for coming. Bye, everybody. Bye. Romaine's not here, so I'm going to do my kisses to the bitches. Bye. I don't know what she does.